Hello YouTube world out there. My name's Jack. A lot of you may know me as Flowzy if you're into the hip-hop underground scene out here where I live. I've been very successful at putting 6 albums out around here, and I've been very blessed to be able to do that. Today we're going to talk about the law of attraction. That seems to be a big hype on the web and stuff, and everybody wants to improve themselves, and that's a great thing to do. That's a great place to be. In fact, I'm constantly looking for ways I can better myself as well, so we're on the same page there. A lot of people talk about, envisioning things, believing that things happen to you before they happen, and those are all great things and a part of the process that's necessary to manifest the desires that we want. But we're going to talk about our belief systems inside our minds. I think that gets overlooked a lot, and it's actually probably the most crucial thing to get down pat. Now in our brains, we've come in through our experiences in life to develop beliefs. Those beliefs sit as seeds in our minds, whether they're going to grow into abundant trees bearing good fruit, or whether they're going to grow into weeds that are going to suffocate the trees from bearing good fruit is totally up to us. We're in control of that, and that's important to know. Now, some negative beliefs that could be limiting you that I find are pretty common are like a lot of people think there's not enough wealth in the world for me. Only some people can be rich and everyone else kind of has to be poor. Now, think about that belief, and if you think that is true, I mean, that's a very limiting belief. Instead, let's replace that belief. Let's pluck that out of our mind like a weed and realize that it's not going to benefit us. Because if we're thinking that there's not enough to go around, well, there probably not going to be. We're not going to find it. Well, let's replace that belief with there's plenty of wealth, an abundance of wealth just waiting for us to find it. And that's the truth. There really is. And so having that belief is going to bring more opportunities to find that wealth. Believe it or not, the mind is a very, very powerful tool to work for you or against you. A lot of people may think you have to work really, really hard to get the things you get in life. Me, I find that I don't like to work too hard. And I've had situations happen in my life where I've made $7,500 in a night from doing a show at the bar or different things where I've made a lot of money fast and easy. And the best thing about it is fun, because it's doing what I love to do, and that's the best you can do in life. I mean, that's the ultimate happiness, is pursuing what you want to do and making a living off that. That should be everybody's goal. I like to replace that belief with I always am grateful when it comes easy to get the things that I want. And that's very important. Being grateful is very important. If you're not grateful, I mean, if you think of the universe as God, that's what I think the universe is. I think of him as God. But if you were God, think like God for a second here, and you were sitting there blessing your children, your spiritual children that are living down there on earth, and you keep blessing them, and they just keep still finding ways to complain about the little different things that don't go their way, and they don't even take the time to say, thank you. Thank you for the things that go my way. Thank you for the things that I have, and I'm happy with those and grateful, and to show gratitude for those. Now, if you were that God, who would you be preferring to shower with more blessings? Of course, you're going to want to choose the one that's grateful for the blessings that you give them. And so, being grateful when things come to you is a key thing to do. You should always say thank you. Always say thank you for everything. Be grateful that you can be alive. I mean, it's a blessing. And great things will happen to you when you start to think that way. Some people think bad things always happen to them. You know that, and they'll insist on telling you. And I've heard several people say, "Oh, that doesn't happen for me because bad things always happen to me," or "Trouble's my middle name," and "Trouble follows me around" and stuff. And you see that when they're saying that kind of thing, it does. Bad things do always happen to them because that's what they're wanting. I mean, that's what they're spending their energy on thinking about. And so, a good belief that I have, that I love, this belief that I've been able to program in my subconscious mind is miracles are constantly happening around me, and I'm blessed to witness them. It's an incredible thing. You know, I've had my nephew healed. I've seen a couple people miraculously healed and overcome sicknesses that they were told they were going to die, and they made it, and they developed a belief that they would be healed, and sure enough, they were. A lot of people believe it isn't good to be rich when everyone else is poor. Think about that. Does that belief make any sense? To me, it doesn't, because a better belief, which I like to take on as my belief, is better to have an abundance of wealth so that I can share with the poor if I choose to. And I like to be very generous to people when I see that they're in need, because that's very important. You can only receive what you give. And so when you give, you'll get more. You'll receive more. And you don't want to give just to receive. Give freely. Give because it's out of the kindness of your heart, and that's the best way to do it. Don't expect it back, but I promise you, it will always come back to you tenfold, whether you can explain it or not. It might not be from the same guy. It might be from a random... I've just seen miraculous things like that take place, and so always give to those that are less fortunate than you, and be grateful that you have an abundance of wealth to give them. Because if you were poor like them, then who's going to help each other? You know, you're not able to do anything. I've heard a lot of people say that relationships never work out for them. And that may have developed from a negative experience they had in a relationship. Maybe they had their heart broken, or you know, maybe they loved somebody and they didn't feel like they got love back, and so they protecting themselves by putting that belief there. So that way they're not going to put themselves into a situation where they can get hurt again. But also, I mean, you may not ever get hurt again, but you may miss an opportunity to have a great relationship. Odds are you will. And a better belief, which I have, you know, is I'm attracting my soulmate to me, and I do that by appreciating the good qualities that I see in myself and others around me. And I like to ignore any kind of negative personality traits that I notice in people, you know, because I don't want to give any attention to it. I don't want to let that grow in them, or I don't want to see it from them, so I ignore it, and I focus on what they do that's good, what they do that I like, that I appreciate, and I'll give a little bit of time to appreciate those things. And I make sure I'm very grateful for the good in people that I see. And because of that, I see more and more and more good people, successful people, wealthy people, abundantly prosperous people. And I mean, I've met some great people, and I'm not here to just talk about everybody I met and stuff like that. It's not the point. The point is beliefs. Beliefs are the root of the plants we plant in our garden. So we want to make sure that we have good beliefs. Now, the best way to do that is ask yourself, what do I believe in that could be possibly holding me back? You know, maybe you have a promotion for a job, and it's required for you to submit some kind of a paper, or you know, or present yourself. In the Marines, we used to do boards, you know, and we'd present ourselves, and a lot of people wouldn't go on them because I can't do that. I can't get in front of everybody and do that. Well, I jumped right in. I said, well, I can. and I will, and I do. And I was promoted that way while I was in the Marines. Through boards, Marine of the Quarter, this and that, because I acted unafraid, even though I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to stand up in front of somebody and have them looking all at me and making sure that there's not even a thread hanging out of my uniform, or I'm able to speak properly, or I'm presenting myself professionally. I didn't feel comfortable doing that, but I just did it. And once I did it, I realized there's no reason to be afraid. I mean, it just, you'll get better at it. You got to face your fears. You got to just do it. I mean, there's going to be fear, there's going to be doubt, there's going to be beliefs, that there's going to be negative experiences that you've had, and they're going to come up. The important thing is not to spend too much energy dwelling on them, and don't resist them, because if you're resisting them, they're drawn to you. You want to let them go. It is what it is. I mean, some things you cannot change. You can only change what's inside you. And what's inside you is going to be the answer to where you're going to find happiness. It's a choice to be happy. And when you choose to be happy, better things come to you. And then you'll see good things, better things, bigger and bigger dreams that you're going to be manifesting into your life. And that's what we want to get to, is making sure that our beliefs are positive and working for us in our best interest. And once you can do that, and you're right on your way to visualizing and all those other really fun things that you can do to manifest your dreams. And I hope that all you guys' dreams come true. I want to see you guys successful. I want to encourage you, and please feel free to post comments if you're able to use this information and something great happens. Please tell me about it. I want to hear about it. If you're having any kind of problems, hit me up. I would love to coach you a little bit, and maybe I can even learn from you. You might even be a coach for me, because I also need good support like that too. So hit me up, guys, and let's make this world a better place. Have a good day.